All right, hello 8th grade. We are working on factoring today. Remember, factoring is the reverse of FOIL. Okay, so we are taking the answers that we would get from FOIL and working backwards, right, to get problems that are in the double parentheses. Right? So I tried to list out the steps. Right? So step 1, you always want to write the parentheses right away. All right, you're going to have 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, step 2, put the variables in. All right, now the variables is determined by the first term. All right, the only way to make x squared is x times x. All right, so I listed my x's in. Step 3. List the factors of the constant. All right, my constant is at the end. Right? And step 4, choose the factors that when you add them together or you combine them, they will make the middle term. All right, just like when we do FOIL and we have to combine the like terms in the middle, all right, before we make our final answer. All right, that's what we're doing in step 4. All right, now this one's kind of tricky because we have a positive 6, but we have a negative 5 in the middle. All right, now the only way to get this negative in the middle with the positive on the outside, right, would mean that we're going to have 2 factors that are both negative. All right, so like a negative 6 times a negative 1 would give me a positive 6. All right, but when I combine them, I could get this negative middle term. All right, so I'm going to go through the other factors that when I multiply them, look, a negative 3 times a negative 2 will give me a positive 6. But when I combine them, look, a negative 3 and a negative 2, when I combine them, they will give me the negative 5. All right, so these are the factors that we want. We're going to put in x minus 3, x minus 2. All right, we can do FOIL to check it. X times x is x squared. X times a negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 3 times x is a negative 3x. And negative 3 times a negative 2 is a positive 6. All right, when we combine them, okay, we get the answer. All right, it matches what we started with. Okay, this one was tricky. All right, you had to notice that you got a positive 6 but a negative in the middle. All right, that's why I made both my factors negative. All right. All right, let's look at this one. Okay, once again, put your parentheses in first. Okay, step 2, put your variables in. The only way to make x squared is x times x. Steps 3 and 4, I'm looking at these 2 terms right here, okay? I want to list the factors that would make a negative 4. So 4 times a negative 1. I could do a negative 4 times a positive 1. And I could do a negative 2 times 2. Now, which one of these factors will give us a positive 3? Okay, it would be this one. 4 and a negative 1 makes a positive 3. So I'm going to take those factors and stick them in my parentheses. A plus 4 and a minus 1. Okay, if I do FOIL to check it, x times x, x squared. X times negative 1, negative 1x. 4 times x plus 4x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. When I combine my like terms, all right, which is what I did up here, we get x squared plus 3x minus 4. Yes, that works. All right, so this is the correct factoring of this problem. Okay, let's look at this next one. Okay, once again, step 1, put your parentheses in. Step 2, the only way to make x squared is x times x. All right, it's the first step in FOIL. Step 3, look at your constant. My constant is negative, so I'm going to list all the factors that would give me a negative 8. So negative 8 times 1, negative 1 times 8, negative 4 times 2, and 4 times a negative 2. Okay, last step, I'm going to look at my factors. Which one of them, if I combine them, will give me a negative 2 in the middle? All right, this would give me a negative 7. This would give me a positive 7. This one, when I combine them, would give me a negative 2. All right, this last one would give me a positive 2. So I'm going to take those factors and stick them directly into my parentheses. Okay, if I do FOIL, I'm going to end up with x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay, let's go to this one. W squared plus 9w plus 8. Step 1, do your parentheses again. Step 2, get my variables in. This time they're w's. The only way to get w squared is w times w. Okay, step 3, look at my constant. It's positive. Okay, I've got a positive in the middle, so I know I don't have any negatives. So I'm going to list all my factors of 8. 8 times 1, 2 times 4. Okay, which one of these factors, when I combine them, will give me 9? All right, that would be 8 plus 1. So I'm going to take the plus 8, stick it in here, put in the plus 1, stick it in there. All right, if I do FOIL, I would get w squared plus 1w plus 8w plus 8, which will give me the answer that I want. Okay, okay, let's come down to this one. Okay, once again, step 1, put your parentheses in. Step 2, look at your first term. The only way to make x squared is x times x. Step 3, look at my constant. List the multiplication factors. All right, this is positive and this is positive, so there are no negatives. So it's either 4 times 1 or 2 times 2. Which one of these factors, when you combine them, makes a 5? That would be this one. So I'm going to take those numbers. Since they're positive, I'll put plus 4 and plus 1 into the problem. Okay, let's go ahead and do FOIL. X times x, x squared. X times 1 is 1x. 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, when I combine, I get x squared plus 5x plus 4. So that checks out. All right, this is my factoring answer right here. Okay. All right, last one. Step 1, parentheses. Step 2, put your variables in. It has to be x times x. Step 3, look at your constant. It's positive. I've got positives in the middle. All right, so I want all factors to be positive. Okay, I can do 24 times 1. I could do 2 times 12. 8 times 3. Or 6 times 4. Now, the factors that will work, need to add up to 14. All right, so if you look over here, 24 plus 1 is 25. Does not work. 2 plus 12, yes, that equals 14. All right, so I'm going to pull those out. Since they're positive, I put in plus 2 and plus 12. All right, this is your factored answer. All right, this one doesn't work because 8 plus 3 is 11 and 6 plus 4 is 10. All right, so 8th grade, we're going to try these, okay? Your assignment today, I will make it so all your problems are positive. They don't have any negatives in them. All right, so we'll start off with the simplest ones. All right, and then the next day we'll try adding some with some negative signs. All right, remember your steps, okay? Once again, parentheses, put your variable in, look at your constant, list all the factors, all right? Then choose the factors that when you combine them will give you your middle term. All right, good luck, and I will talk to you tomorrow.